ladies can admit in general that they have like character flaws.
Yeah.
We're like women, we just have a hard time saying, some aspects of me not great.
Yeah.
What up, guys? Welcome to my reaction series. Today we have an awesome guest on the channel. We have Bunny, Fort Worth Playboy's missus. So welcome to the show.
Hello.
So first question, how did you get into this red pill stuff? Would you consider yourself a red pill content creator?
I think that's the closest match. I'm gonna say yes on that.
One of my favorite takes of yours was
God.
women, I don't know who came up with this, but you kind of, it was either you or Fort Worth Playboy, but I think he said he got it from you. That women that lose their virginities at a later age are very weird. And like something's off.
There's just something off about it.
And I thought that was such a good observation because I was in a very religious church for a while and they're everywhere there. Oh my God, they're so
weird. It's definitely a unique subset of people, I would say. But I will say, no different than men who lose their virginity very late. There's just an awkwardness there. There's a reason oftentimes that happens, and whether it's male or female. So
that's true. There's no takers.
Yeah.
Okay, so today we're reacting to a guy who talks about why he got divorced at 22.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we're gonna react, and then if you have anything to say, just talk, and I'll pause it. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, ladies and gentle people.
I'd say he's like a conventionally attractive guy to start.
He's very cute.
Very cute guy.
This is how I became divorced at 22 years old. This is going to be very simplified. I would rather undershare than overshare. I have reached out to members, friends and family members, both myself and my ex-wife, to find the best way to do this.
Oh, God.
And we all pretty much came to the same conclusion of do not share more than is needed. But if at some point I feel the need to elaborate, I might do that. There might be longer versions of this with breakdowns and parts.
I don't think he's doing a good job of not sharing too much. That was a 5-minute introduction.
Yeah, I know. So what do you think of this new trend of people sharing everything online?
Well, I think that, we all think that the world is just deeply interested in what we have to say. And where we used to call a buddy, or we used to call cry with our friends or whatever, now we literally sit alone in a room, hit record, and broadcast.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, I'm as guilty as the next person, but I definitely think that there's something odd about just wanting to share so much personal life with just anybody. Like this guy, I mean, my first response is, before he even starts talking, is, oh, you want us all to know you're single again? Okay, check. You're adorable. So clearly, no problem. I'm sure tons of people immediately reached into his DMs, and he hasn't even really announced anything yet.
I'm wondering if maybe, I find that announcements like this are for couples that built their brand together.
That's fair.
That's fair. I don't know if this is the case because I've never seen them before, but
yeah,
like this to me looks like, I don't know if you ever, this might be like a my generation thing. When David Dobrik,
well, I am definitely not of your generation.
When David Dobrik and Eliza broke up, it like broke the internet because they were like an internet couple. And when they broke, we all broke too.
The equivalent of that would be like if Chip and Joanna Gaines broke up.
Yeah.
And my people would be heartbroken.
Yeah.
So I got married May 17th of this year.
Brand new.
And shortly before that, my wife, or ex-wife, started a new job. And that's important to know. So we ended up moving into our apartment together in mid-July. I believe it was July 16th. Between the when we got married and that time, we were living with my parents. So we move in about 2 weeks after that. My wife has just a breakdown, comes in my office, has a breakdown about, I feel like we might have rushed into this. We did things too soon, blah, 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 blah. And it wasn't like we need to split. It was just, I'm freaking out. It's like, okay, let's talk through it. And About a week later, she apologizes, says, hey, I think I was just having kind of a mental breakdown. I'm like, hey, that's fine. I get it. It's scary times. I had a freak out. I think it was like the third night that we were staying in the apartment, just about like, missing my family. So sometimes.
What?
Yeah.
What is with?
Okay, no, I want to hear.
Like, I'm so tired of every little thing just making people fall apart.
Yeah.
Like, where is the, I don't know, the mental toughness? Like, these people were getting married and yet they're falling apart over getting being in their own place or whatever. Like, this is, I'm already like, I just dislike this guy.
This is before the kids have even come yet.
Exactly.
So
Like, there's no stress yet. There's nothing happening.
Yeah, this is influence.
Time goes on, and now we're in August, and there's another freak out. And I feel like we rush into this, blah, blah, blah. Well, we meet with our premarital counselor. Well, our counselors, I guess.
Isn't it crazy that our generation, we're not even married yet and we're getting counseling?
Yeah, that's not a good sign.
Was that a thing like 20 years ago?
No, no. We did fine.
Counseling was like, deal with it.
Exactly. Your parents, if you felt like you needed counseling in my generation, it was, or in my parents even, it was like, you need to go home to your wife. Your wife needs you. Like, or nope, you made this bed. You're gonna go home and you're gonna be there.
151. Okay, so he's got 55,000 followers. So
interesting.
It might have been like a internet couple or something.
They're like, hey, this is super common. We see this in young married couples all the time. Let's set some expectations for one another just so you guys can help each other out. And we did. And I think.
What do you see as the problems that couples have early on in marriage?
I think the biggest problem is I got married young, make no mistake. Like I got married young, but I was like one of those who was like a little too mature for her age. And so it was like, well, of course she's getting married and of course she wants to go on and start a family and all that stuff. But what I see with like couples now who are getting married, and this is true even into like 30-year-olds or so. I mean, it's a broad spectrum, I would say, that they are so used to being coddled, for lack of a better way to say it, but they're so used to living under this super protection of essentially my generation and the generation ahead of me of parents, that they genuinely don't know how to do anything. They don't know how to do stuff. So it is, I could see it would be very scary to have your own place, be responsible for another human being. You're suddenly supposed to act like an adult when you've never had any lessons or experience in being an adult.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's why, I mean, I have to pull the mom card here. Like, I have kids from 26 to 18, and I always said, I'm not raising children. I'm raising my children to be adults.
Yeah.
And they're all productive members of society. They're all, I mean, we all have our stuff, but like, my kids don't get scared for being alone and having their own rent.
Yeah, no, I think because I grew up in a pretty well-off family, so we had nannies and stuff. So there was a lot of stuff I did not know how to do until I became an adult. And so I just spent a lot of my early 20s like figuring out how to do it. Like I did not know how to cook. I was messy. Like it was just bad. But I don't see a lot of people taking initiative to like learn it on their own.
No,
my sister couldn't believe it because I was so messy growing up. She'll go to my apartment. She's like, like, how is this clean now? And I'm like, well,
I love that.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to torture you guys. My bad. Like, all right, let's see.
My head, things are going great.
All right, so right now the marriage is going okay. They crash out a little bit, but it's nothing too bad.
Okay, so Monday, September 15th rolls around, and I leave work a little early. She tells me that she wants me to come home so we can talk. And so we go home, or I go home, and I get there, and she's like, hey, like, I'm not ready to talk just yet. Go play the game. So I'm like, okay, I play the game for an hour. Go back in. Hey, I'm not ready to talk just yet. Go play the game. Okay, go back in for an hour. Whatever. So basically she tells me, like, hey, I don't know I don't want to talk about this. I think that it's just not worth talking about. And me being an anxious person, I'm like, well, is it something small, or is it something like you want to
Do
move?
you think if a girl does that, that's a shit test to see how he reacts?
I think a lot of things girls do as a shit test. So I'm going to say yes, but I also think that this is a couple, of course, only hearing his side, a couple that genuinely doesn't know how to communicate or express their feelings. They're so in their heads. She could probably turn on a camera or her phone and give every explanation for what she's dealing with. She could probably talk it out and have a wonderful conversation, but because it's another human being, she's completely incapable.
Yeah, and my generation, because I got social media when I was in 8th grade, and
Okay.
he looks younger than me. So, I mean, we have a whole generation of people that don't talk, they text. I think
Yeah,
50% of Gen Z communication is digital. Isn't that crazy?
I believe it, if not higher.
Yeah.
Out, and she's just kind of like, I don't really know. I don't know. I feel like, there's just so many things happen so quick, and I don't know. Well, either way, we talked through things a little bit. I think she can tell that I'm upset. She could tell that I was upset, so she just kind of dialed back. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know where her mind space is or head space is in any of this. Well, the following Saturday rolls around. Everything's all hunky dory for me. I go out with my buddy. We put out some bags of corn and stuff, and then I get home.
That's such a guy thing to say. Everything's fine for me. Everything. I was fine. I guess she wasn't. That's how when men get divorced, that's like always like I thought we were good,
Exactly. I had no idea we had any issues.
She's like, hey, when are you gonna be home? I tell her, and she's like, okay, great. Like, I'm gonna take a shower and I'll see you when you get home. Well, I get home. She got her bags packed. Hey, I'm gonna stay with my mom. I need some space away. I might be back Wednesday. I don't know. Can we talk? Nope. Gone. Out the door. Gone. Poof. Gone. No contact that Sunday, that Monday. Then Tuesday night, I finally call her. Now, mind you, in between this, I'm over at my best friend's house. Like, I don't know what's going on. I'm freaking out. And I say no contact. There were a couple texts sent. Well, she also goes over there and is with him and his girlfriend and just talking to them. And it's, they're trying to figure out what's going on. And they're asking the questions. Hey, is there anything going on that might be causing this? Is there anything, She's like, no, nothing. Well, so Tuesday night I call her. And this is now.
What do you think's her issue as of now? What's your guess?
I think that she is thinking about a guy that she should have dated instead. She should have given another chance. Maybe he reached out. Like, I honestly think she's disappointed that she's locked herself into this one.
Yeah. All right, let's see.
Now let me get the date. Yeah, so Tuesday the 23rd of September, I call her and things seem well. And I'm like, hey, do you want to go out tomorrow? She's like, yeah. So her and I go out. We have a great dinner, and she tells me, like, look, I've decided I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to run away. Like, we're going to work on this together. I can't leave you. I don't want to leave you. I'm not going to leave you. Awesome. But you need to do this and this and this and this and this. And mind you, everything's been fairly normal for me up to this point, up until her leaving.
Other than all these freakouts he keeps having also. Make no mistake, like, this guy already is kind of annoying me in that I would not be able to be in relationship with him. Granted, he's like 30 years younger than me, but still, like, he's a little too feelings driven anyway. He's having all these freakouts. He's anxious. He's having all these problems dealing with the fact that they're married and all these things. And yet
Really? I thought he kind of was saying he was fine and she was crashing out.
yeah,
You're
but like,
saying that's not like the other side of the
well,
story.
yeah, he was fine when he's putting deer corn out, but like, he has had a couple of different times, like on day 3 of them in their own place, like he was freaking out, and I'm like, what does that mean? First of all, what does that actually look like? Are you internally freaking out? Are you just having some stress? Are you like showing like showing yourself to her. What does this look like whenever you two are each freaking out? Because he keeps kind of using this
Yeah.
blanket.
Yeah, that's true. What type of crash out we talking?
Yeah.
How crashed out. Okay, let's see. I want to see what is her issue.
Therapy.
Yeah.
So I put myself in therapy. I get couples therapy for the two of us. I'm paying
Oh,
out the
I know.
butt for it, but whatever.
Oh no, you're going to couples therapy in the first year.
Not a good sign.
I just can't imagine that it ends in like I've never. You tell me. Have you ever had a couple go to therapy and it get better?
Nope, I haven't. And I say that I'm not anti-therapy, but no, oftentimes, because once you are there, I think that there's already so many issues and there's so much resentment and hate and anger and bitterness that therapy is almost a lost cause, I think,
Yeah, it's
for a
better
lot
to
of
start.
people.
It's just better to start anew.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
This is necessary, whatever means. She's like, I'm not ready to move back in yet, but we'll see. So we have our first therapy session that following Sunday, and just to kind of collapse all this down, eventually after like a week or so, she moves back in. Things are going great. I'm cooking dinner every single night, right? She did almost nothing around the apartment, and I would complain about that because it's like, but I was like, you know what? I don't care. Cooking, cleaning, everything. Laundry, everything. I'm doing everything, right? I like made up her closet for her and stuff and whatever. I'm just like, I'm trying to show her whatever it is that you need, I'm going to do. And I just start working on myself and start trying to be, the best husband that I could possibly be. And it's stuff that I should have been doing beforehand, but it's like,
Yeah, but she's holding the frame in the relationship now.
Exactly.
Now she knows she has control. You're cooked, my guy.
Completely.
You're cooked. You can't react.
This is my first time. I'm a kid. Well, 3 weeks go by. Let me go back to my text to figure out the date. So, mind you, during this time too, she's like trying to get me to buy her a new car and like a gaming PC, and we're coming to all the. I mean, it's amazing. It seemed like the most perfect marriage. Well, Sunday, October 12th rolls around, and things have been going great. We have our therapy session, and the therapist is like, guys, I think we made a breakthrough, and we're laughing, giggling, whatever. Well, therapy session ends. She looks at me, hey, I'm dropping out of nursing school. When did you make that decision? She's like, last week. I was like, okay.
She's a nurse. That's not good. That's not good. Oh man. All right.
Okay. All right. I support you. That's a big decision. That gives us more time to spend together. I guess work through these things. Breakdown, anxiety, full on, just freaking out. My jump to is, hey, let's pray. Let's pray. She doesn't want to. She goes, jumps in the shower. She's free. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. I thought I could, whatever. And I'm like, hey, let's get in the car. Because car rides always calmed her down. Let's get in the car and ride around.
She's like a baby. You put her in the car to calm her down. And is he going to just drive around in circles around the city?
Yeah. I mean, this does not seem like an emotionally mature woman.
No. Well, and did you catch, or has he said like what their age demographics are? Like, I feel like she's younger even than he is.
Yeah, he's 22, so she's probably younger than that.
Okay.
I would guess. I think they met in church, so maybe like 20. Let's just guess 20.
I'm lying to you. I've been doing X, Y, and I go, have you been cheating? And she looks at me, yeah.
You were right. You caught it. Yeah, you were right.
I feel like a lot of people saw that one coming.
Yeah, I mean, kind of, yeah. Yeah, because if women are like randomly crashing out, I think it's a lot of times it's like the guilt. Because like,
exactly.
I know we think women don't feel guilt, but we kind of do. And then it's like a crash out. And then, like when women are acting erratic, it's usually we're doing something wrong. Yeah.
And we know, it's not, we don't do this stuff and think it's right. We do this stuff and we want it to satisfy us, but we still know deep down that we're doing the wrong thing. I actually attended a wedding one time where the bride was actively having an affair, and gee, no surprise, 3 days after the wedding, after the whole shindig went through with the whole thing, she called it off. She's like, I've been cheating. Like, What? I mean,
Did you know?
I didn't know at the wedding that this was happening. No,
Okay, but
but
did you?
I never spoke to her again once I found out. I was so like, you have got to be kidding me.
Really?
So frustrating.
Were you friends with the guy? I'm guessing.
I was friends with the girl.
Oh, you were
I
friends
was
with the girl
friends
and
with
you never
her.
spoke to her again.
Yeah.
Wow.
And if she had come to me, I would have said, don't do this. Like, that's either break up with one or the other, but this is a sham. But I mean, I'm sure that this girl, and here's the real thing. He probably doesn't even know the whole story. Like, he knows what she's okay with him knowing in
Yeah,
order to get her out of it, but he still won't know the whole story and it never will. But the likelihood is she was cheating the entire time, never broke it off.
correct.
You
And she's
know,
telling him because she knows that he won't end it.
yeah,
Because,
yeah,
like, you know what I mean? Like, why would she tell him? Like, if she was really afraid of him leaving, or maybe she wants him to leave. I guess we'll see.
yeah.
We'll see.
With who? Sir Boss.
Damn. That's just so classic. Nurses.
I know. It's
like, that's classic. You know what? Growing up, I had one friend whose mother cheated and she was a nurse. Yeah, I don't know what it is about nurses because, like, she didn't even cheat with anyone at work. She cheated with the neighbor. Maybe it's like the work schedule.
I think so. I think I mean, firefighters are notorious for that kind
Yeah.
of thing. Police are notorious for that kind of thing. Nurses, anytime you work, even like down to like the entertainments and things like that. I mean, you work an erratic schedule, you work different from other people. It gives you freedom, number one.
Yeah.
You have freedom in times that other people don't have freedom. And it's just like, they tend to be incestuous anyway.
Want to know something crazy? So this girl, all the kids knew. And they didn't tell the dad because, like, they knew from a young age that the mom would crash out if she, like, isn't that crazy? And I was friends with the girl and she didn't even tell me.
That is a lot on those kids' shoulders. You know that those kids are not mentally healthy.
No, they're not.
From that.
I mean, the girl, like, they kind of woke up later, but like,
yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, but like when they're kids and you say, don't tell dad, like, what? I mean, the kid's gonna do what mom says, right?
That is rough. That is rough. That is no way for children to be.
Yeah. And then she ended up leaving and like dating, and I don't know if they stayed together for a while, the neighbor though.
Yeah.
It was kind of awkward. They would go to like not family, but like functions at the school. And we're like, wow, what a time.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And the dad was super nice too. Like, he was really nice. But all right, let's see. And it was crazy because the dad was really good looking. Like,
exactly.
Really
yeah. I mean, sometimes
like,
girls will make weird decisions like that.
Yeah, it's nothing to do with the guy. Yeah, I mean, sometimes he's super simpy, but sometimes he did nothing. Like, what did Tom Brady do? Like,
yeah, seriously. Who would cheat on Tom Brady?
So there, yeah.
So yeah, so she says that. And, I've always been a very emotional person, but in that moment...
You were right!
No kidding, dude. Tell us something we don't know.
He kind of fits the archetype of Christian guys. They tend to be really emotional. I've spent a lot of times in those churches, and like, especially if they're at Protestant churches, because that's like all emotional is. Like Catholicism, Orthodox, it's a little more stoic, but like it's you're dealing with concerts at a lot of the non-denominational churches.
Well, and that's pretty interesting to me because, I mean, of course, I follow a lot of your stuff, and my Protestant church experience is so much different from yours. Like, in my experience, the men are strong, masculine leaders of their family in a respectful way, but but I say that with a grain of salt, knowing that I've also been, as an adult, been to more of like the mega church, like kind of vibe. And it's like going to a concert every Sunday.
You got to look at the congregation. If it's like 75% women, cooked.
It's true. It's so true.
Yeah, you're cooked. No, I knew it was cooked because when I was in the church, I was single then, and I did a dating event, and it was like 90% women, 10% men.
Exactly.
And then they say you can't date outside of the church. I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
Oh my God.
I'm like, I'm not top 10% hottest here. Where am I supposed to go? Like,
that is stringent. That would be a lot to ask.
No, it's really crazy because it's like they tell women to not have sex, and a lot of them are not virgins anymore. And that's just a tough sell. So there's like 2 Chads in the church that like 2 or 3 that like marry off usually young. And then you just got these old single women that aren't, I mean, I don't know if they're putting out, they probably are, but like on paper saying they're not putting out, it's like, who's going to buy that?
Exactly.
And I was like 22 or 23 at the time. And I remember I went on a church retreat, and it was all these old single awkward women. And I'm like, I saw the writing on the wall. I was like, I got to get out of here.
I do not want to be that. Yeah.
I was like, I got to get out of here.
Well, and I mean, I've got all kinds of beef with the mentality of being a virgin when you're married also, unless you're like an 18-year-old virgin or something. I mean, like married person, because you're supposed to suddenly be a vixen and suddenly be like a switch flips on your wedding night. Like suddenly you know what to do, and you know how to satisfy your man, and you know you're going to be completely comfortable in all these different scenarios. You know, it's a lot to ask. It's no wonder, you know, it's no wonder females get a bad rap for being emotional. And I mean, there's a lot of guilt that we just kind of deal with for pretty much everything we do.
Yeah, no. You know what's funny? So when I was a young, I did the whole Catholic school thing. So the purity thing, like I actually tried to wait till marriage, but it was like none of the guys that wanted to wait were cute. I was like,
yeah,
the guy that's cute's gonna do, you know. So but anyways, when I got older, my parents, that's what they said, just wait till marriage. I get older and I find out my parents had a teen pregnancy, and I had a brother that I didn't know about. So I didn't find out about him till I was like 22 or 23. Yeah. And I told my mom, I'm like, Mom, you should have, why didn't you tell me to do what you did to get pregnant? I'm like, you got to marry the best guy in the world, my dad.
Exactly. You hit the jackpot by doing it wrong.
I know. And I was like, you did it by getting pregnant. You told me to go to school, go to college, and try to sell like college age guys that are attractive. The ugly ones will do it, but the attractive one, they're not going to wait for shit. There's 10
exactly
hotter than you that are going to put out. Like, what are you talking about?
That is actually hilarious.
I know. My mom's like, well, like, and that's what they'll do. They'll say, well, I should have did it the other way. I'm like, yeah, but you didn't, because that didn't work.
Exactly, because that would not have worked out the same.
And I said the same thing to my dad. I was like, Dad, and he's like, no, that doesn't mean it worked. I'm like, well, yes, it did.
All evidence to the contrary. That is awesome.
I'm like, you guys had 30-year marriage. All you had to do was get pregnant. And it was funny. I ran to my little sister. I'm like, Eva, download Tinder.
We got to get out there.
I mean, I was kind of kidding with the Tinder, but like,
that is hilarious. Oh, that's funny.
And I'm like, if you're gonna sell purity, you can't do it to college age guys. Cause like, Mom, you told me not to date older. You could sell purity to a guy 10 years older, but on a college campus. I'm like, Mom, there was 6 women to 4 men on my college campus.
Oh my gosh.
I'm cute, but I'm not the hottest chick that, you know, like.
My personality will only get me so far.
These guys want the Cluck 9000.
That is awesome.
And you know what? In the church, they say not to do that either.
Yeah, I had some of those same experiences with my parents, but yeah.
I'm like, Mom, it was a different time.
Exactly. Yeah, it's always a different time. That's the go-to. Oh, it was different then. Well,
I had a different sister, or And I like she wanted to wait till marriage, and I'm like, well, you got to go older because these guys in school, they're not going to do it right now. Maybe if you
Yeah.
get this guy, but he was a little out of your league, Chica. So you got to like. I'm just being pragmatic. I mean, you could shoot,
Yeah, exactly.
shoot, but
I couldn't cry. I couldn't get angry. All I could do was drive. And in my head, I'm just praying while listening and trying to talk. And basically, she says, I find out over time that she had started emotionally cheating, which let's just call it what it is. She started cheating 2 weeks after we moved into our apartment. So mind you, this is 2 months after we get married. And that, if we do the timeline here, that's when the first freak out happened, when she came into my office.
damn, we called it. That's what we said. Yeah. The
Seriously.
first yeah.
Then apparently it was just that, and then
we're like women try to rationalize like we want it to be something defective with the guy.
Yeah.
And so it's like I did this bad thing, but I can't be a bad person. It can't be a character flaw.
Oh no,
It
exactly.
can't be a character. Do you know what? I'm not a good person. Like men at least can admit in general that they have like character flaws.
Yeah.
We're like women, we just have a hard time saying, some aspects of me not great.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. 100%.
And so we try to blame the guy.
Towards the time of the second freak out, before she moved out, was when they had started making plans to be physical. And then during the time between that freak out and her moving out is when they actually did have a level of physical relation. And then, mind you, this all comes out the day before I'm supposed to hop on a flight for a promotion that I just received. And she tells me that this has been going on, that it's most likely going to continue going on. And
he says most likely going to continue going on.
Yeah.
She does not care.
No, she doesn't care. And make no mistake, even though like the new job and the new boss and the new relationship and all this stuff all happened essentially at the same time that they were physically getting married. Like the wedding happened and she got a new job kind of like right there together. This isn't the first time that she has had thoughts at least about dumping him for another man, because it just doesn't come that easily. Like It just doesn't. You're either committed to a person or you're not. You either have a wandering eye or you don't. And that's a choice that you make. There are always going to be attractive people out there that are not your significant other. There are always going to be people who would get with you. There are always options. So it's a choice. And so this girl is like an easy target. She's a soft target. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah, I mean, do you think most cheaters are because it's a character flaw, or and they'll cheat no matter what relationship they're in? Or
I really do.
Or do you ever think it's because the guy is too simpy or too soft?
Well, I think that it does start with the person who's cheating. I really do, because I really don't mean this to be ugly. I think that we have different types and different styles of relationship, but a person who cheats on that guy will cheat on that guy and then will cheat on that guy. And it just is the way it happens. It's very difficult to be faithful if you've never been faithful before and it's always worked out okay.
Yeah. And women, because men don't really go looking for it, so women tend to get away. He probably never would have found out if she didn't tell him.
It's true. He would have thought it was all his fault that she keeps falling apart, and he's not strong enough to keep her from falling apart, when really there's all this turmoil happening in the background that he has no idea about.
You ever see a hoe trying so hard to be faithful? There's someone I'm thinking about. And she's hoed from a young age.
Yeah.
Some women are kind of just born like that.
It's true. And I do think that, not knowing who this guy's wife is, I bet she is very attractive. I'm sure she's attractive. And I'm sure she gets a lot of attention from a lot of people. All of the people that I know personally who have been serial cheaters, because I don't know anybody who cheats just once. They're all attractive human beings,
Yeah.
male or female. They're used to talking to a lot of people because they get a lot of positive attention.
Yeah.
There's, people talk to them, they talk to them, they're usually pretty extroverted, pretty comfortable in public situations with other people. And I know that goes against what I said earlier, where she probably could talk to a camera right now and not talk to him. But
yeah.
attractive people get a lot of attention and get a lot of,
Yeah, well, I mean, I kind of dealt with this with I interviewed 1,000 people, and there's like the Christian guys that always say they wouldn't cheat. Although a lot of them end up cheating because they get clouded and they're like, whoa,
Yeah.
I thought I was a faithful guy, but these young hot 22-year-olds are hitting on me.
It's true.
Well,
It's
like
true.
that's why the pastors always get caught cheating, because they might go into it thinking they're not cheaters, but you don't really know if you're a cheater until you have attractive. Ugly options don't really count.
No.
That doesn't count. Like an ugly choice, that's like not even a choice,
Well,
like,
and like somebody like a pastor, or somebody who's out in front of the crowd, that leader is gonna get hit on no matter what he looks like, no matter if he's the biggest dweeb or the hottest stud in the room. If he's up on that stage, directing the crowd, he is going to have options.
Oh yeah, women love banging pastors. That's why I think they keep a lot of these single women in church. She's like, I need options here.
Oh, that's awful.
And that's why they sell the born again virgins, because he's like, I'm done with these side chicks. I got to do something with them. Church men waiting for marriage.
Funny. That is so funny.
Yeah.
And yeah, not crying about it, not upset about it. Actually, I'll just tell you guys, laughing at my crying, because eventually I do start crying, of course. She's like, look, let's go back to the apartment. Chill out there. And I'm like, okay. We get back to the apartment. She's like, look, I need to call him. Mind you, I'm falling apart. Look, I need to call him. I need to make sure he's okay. So she leaves for 2 hours while it's like 12 o'clock at night. I can't sleep. I can't do anything. Right? I have a flight to catch the next morning. I can't do anything. I'm falling apart. Finally,
that girl's getting railed and he's crying. She's off having a booty call. Like there is.
Yeah, she
didn't go call him. She went and called on him.
Yeah, cooked. It's cooked. Sorry, my guy.
So I get like 2 hours of sleep. Wake up, get on a flight, and absolutely bomb. Do terrible, right? Because how could you do well? And during this week, while I'm gone, all I'm thinking of is, okay, how am I going to fix this? How am I going to fix this? I don't know how I'm going to fix it.
Okay, do you know what? Fort Worth Playboy had a tweet that I just thought of now. How what ruins more marriages is being unlikable over cheating. Because when you think about because a bitchy wife, that impacts you every single day.
It's
if
true.
She cheats on business trips, it doesn't, and I'm not saying you should, right? But I'm just from a pragmatic point of view, I'm like, it's like worse to be a bitch. That's how a lot of really likable women, they tend to cheat a lot, or not. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they don't always do it, but like, they get away with cheating more, I'll say.
Absolutely.
Because they're pleasant to be around. And it's
absolutely
out of sight, out of mind to some degree.
1000%. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you forget?
I don't know if she is. She doesn't seem like it, but I was just thinking about, because you guys both, I could tell you get your content from the real world and not just online, because a lot of your points are like, I'm like, that is true. That is
well, and it helps that we are both personal trainers. And so we are out in the world a lot. Like we're dealing with, and we're seeing, relationships come and go. We're seeing all kinds of stuff happen. There's a lot of life that happens in a training facility. And it's really interesting to have kind of a firsthand experience of it, a firsthand knowledge. And so many of these people sharing with us at the same time. So yeah, we get a lot of real world stuff.
If a guy has 10 female clients, how many does he hook up with?
You know, that's funny because that really has kind of been a hot topic lately. And I'm going to say, first of all, it depends on the market, like 1000%. I will say that personal training is similar to restaurant business, things like that. It's incestuous.
Yeah.
Personal trainers, we're going to spend a lot more time with the other personal trainers in the facility. There's one girl who works at our facility, and I swear she has banged every male trainer in the facility at some point in her tenure there.
Yeah, you guys are all good looking. That's kind of what happens.
Everybody's fit. Everybody's got higher testosterone. Everybody, we look at bodies all day, every day. Like, yeah, it's a hot environment. It's kind of like physical therapy. There are no ugly physical therapists. Like, and please don't start sending me pictures of ugly physical therapists. I'm sure they exist, but I don't know that many who bang their own clients. Because
it's the other trainers more.
Yeah, you don't shit where you eat. And anybody who follows that rule is not going to bang their clients, no matter how hot they are. Now, I know people who will not have clients anymore, but will like kind of circle back, and they kind of become, they almost get treated like a rotation girl in that they kind of check in on them once they're not clients with the intention of banging.
Yeah. So
I will say it's not completely.
Okay. What percent do you think they could bang?
Oh, a high percentage. High percent. No. Like, Fort Worth teases me all the time. He just cracks it. First of all, Fort Worth he doesn't have a jealous bone in his body, which goes a long way because I'm a personable person. We're extroverted. We're out there. But he always laughs. He's like, every male who ever walks through this facility feels the need to touch you at some point while they're here. Like,
let's face it, free speech is a myth. Large social media companies reserve the right to judge and punish any content creators they see fit without due process or warning. How do I know? Because I was demonetized for 1.5 years and I had to work my way back from the bottom to where I am today. One thing that my experience taught me is to never rely on one platform for my livelihood again, which is why I created my own website and app, the Audacity Network. Unlike the larger platforms that are bogged down by censorship and changing guidelines, the Audacity Network is an open platform run by me for my supporters. For just $10 a month, you can join a community that can speak their mind and get first access to present and future projects. It's also a place to find my old content, as well as to get access to live streams and videos you can only find on my website. So go to theaudacitynetwork.com to become a member, or go to the Apple Store and Google Store to download the app today. I'll see you there.
I could bang 98% of the males that come through the door. And I don't mean that that sounds tackier than it is, but I'm fun. I'm laughing at their jokes, I'm there.
Well, what about the other way around, guys with girl clients?
I'm gonna say it's high. I'm gonna say it would be high under the right circumstances. I'm going to say it's easily in the 50 to 60% positive range.
Okay.
I'm going to say it would be possible. It would be possible.
Cool. All right, let's finish this.
Well, I'm going to do it.
This poor guy.
And wow, God is good. Because though I didn't fix it, he kept me functioning better than I would have without him. And yeah, so then I get back. She ends up actually picking me up from the airport that Thursday night. We hang out. She drives me back to the apartment, goes and stays at her mom's. Friday morning, wake up, we go on a date. It's great. We're having a good time. It's a little weird, but we're having a good time. Well, eventually, we go back to the apartment. She falls asleep. I go through her phone, and it is her and him dogging on me, talking about how she's going to stay on my good side so she can get things from me, and all sorts of terrible stuff. And so I'm like, hey, wake up. Let's go. And she's like, oh my gosh, did you go through my phone? I'm like, yeah, I did. And then.
Oh, there's a.
Oh, Lord.
Wait, here we go. Well, we'll do like a few more minutes of this and then move on to the next.
That is hilarious how he was so determined that this was going to be a quick update.
Part
Yeah, this is a
2.
10.
I didn't think it was going to be this long. So, yeah, so she goes and starts freaking out, and she's like, take me home. I'm like, okay, cool.
Uber.
Now we are driving home, and she's telling me, I really thought there was a chance. I really thought you would change, but you going through my phone just shows me you're the same person.
What do you think about looking in each other's phones?
I have zero problem with transparency. I mean, I think I think even if you don't ever intend to go through anyone else's phone, I think that having the ability keeps people who would otherwise not be on the up and up, maybe makes them think twice. I mean, I think transparency in relationships is a good idea in that regard. But I mean, Fort Worth can go through my phone. I don't think he ever has, and he would never even think about it. Like it's not even, but I also am not going to flinch every time he goes to pick up my phone or move it or do something the way that some of these couples do. I mean, I love like the trends on the socials where it's like, I pretend to grab her phone or I say, hey, I'm going to do this real quick. That just sounds stressful to like freak out anytime he touches your phone because there's something in there that he shouldn't see.
Yeah, I mean, if people cheat, eventually it comes out.
But truly, like, what was this girl doing without a lock that he couldn't get into? I mean, that's just stupid. I think this girl just was dying to get out of this. And so
cheat better. I mean, if you're gonna cheat, I just expected more from you.
Yeah, exactly. 1000%.
Okay.
I just took you on a date, spent a bunch of money, had what I thought was a great day, and the whole time you're sneaking off to the bathroom to text your boyfriend about how you have to stay on my good side, hoping that he's not upset with you for it. So then I turn on her Snap Maps because I'm crazy. I turn on her Snap Maps, and sure enough, that night she ends up at his house. Saturday morning, wake up, go home, pack up all of her stuff nicely, not throwing stuff, right? I just put whatever clothes and stuff into bags and put the other stuff in whatever. Load it in the back of the truck, text her, hey, what time do you get off work? Or what time do you need to be at your mom? She tells me, like, okay, I pull up, got all of her stuff in the truck, and she's like, can we go get food? I'm like, you know what? Let me see how much information I can fish out here. So she knows at this point, she's found out that her Snap.
What more information do you need? She's cheating on you, my God.
Exactly.
I mean, it's over. Like, this isn't just like, and all of it's wrong, right? But there's levels of cheating that I would imagine would be more work throughable. Like, this isn't a few message. This is a whole boyfriend.
It's a whole other relationship.
This wasn't a one night stand, never spoke to. This is a boyfriend.
Yeah.
She has 2 boyfriends. So
yeah.
So I'm like, where were you last night? She's like, a friend called me. I was upset at you, and so they called me and I went over. I was like, was it his house? She's like, yeah. I'm like, did you sleep with him? Yeah. Gotcha. So then, full transparency, we're riding around, and she's just like, let's just drive. Let's just go somewhere. Let's just wake up and see the sunset somewhere. And I'm not going to overshare, but I'm an idiot. I'm so stupid. I'm so dumb. Clearly. And I'm not even going to listen, what your mind is thinking, that happens.
Exactly. Yeah, the whole time I'm like, yeah, but how many times did you have like the hottest sex of your life in these moments, Seriously.
What a buffoon, right? So either way, I'm spending the night. I'm spending the night. And then Sunday, I wake up and I go to church because I'm like, God, I need you so, which I go to church anyways, right? But I'm like, God. And so I go to church and I walk in early and I sit there and I just cry in a pew. And then I get out of church and to a text from her, hey, she texted me somewhere along the lines of, I can't remember if it's text or call. She's like, hey, like, come back over, and I don't like how you left. I'm like, okay. So I went over and I get over there and she just wants to lay down. We lay down and, what an idiot. Either way.
Okay. Do you know what? I think I've had enough.
This guy.
All right, he got cheated on. I think this is cooked. So, I mean, he got cheated on. And yeah, women divorces. I don't think she'll regret it. A lot of men have this like revenge fantasy. And even if you do better, date younger, and like even if she doesn't do better, I feel like once a woman's done with you, she's kind of done. Maybe in a
Might
scenario,
as well have never existed.
yeah, maybe in a scenario where she just didn't see you as like a long-term prospect, you know, like Jack and Titanic scenario, you know, maybe something like that. But
yeah,
in general, yeah,
I don't know. I mean, everything about this is just maddening. I mean, first of all, he won't have any problem. I mean, by the time this is published, he probably has already had like 20,000 DMs.
Let me help you feel better.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I can't believe you were treated so poorly.
Oh, let me just
exactly.
Let me just, you know.
He's never gotten so many unsolicited pictures in his life.
Yeah.
Just for being adorable in the first place. But I don't know. I mean, I think this guy, what I hate about people who get cheated on is it becomes the story. Like that becomes what anybody else ever hears about from now on until he finally kind of gets into a good relationship and kind of gets past all this. But like it becomes his story that he tells at every first date that he goes on.
Yeah.
And that's not sexy. Like what girl wants to sit there and go, I would be sitting across from him going, well, I think I know why you were cheated on, first of all.
Yeah. God. You know what? When I was single, once divorced men were always the most desperate. That's what I found. They were always like, they wanted to marry you immediately. And I think a lot of it's because they can't really let the dream of marriage die. And so they want to just feel like, oh, I just picked the wrong girl. It's not women in general, which I mean, to some extent they did, but they're like very desperate to like, because it's a lot of like conservative guys that believe in marriage, you know.
I agree.
And they're just like ready to marry you immediately. Like,
I agree.
I mean,
they're marrying men out there, and that is like, that is their archetype. I mean, that is their persona.
Men will walk away from marriage for a little bit, but they'll be back.
Yeah.
After a bad divorce. Okay. So the next video we're going to cover is no contact with parents. So a lot of people in my generation are cutting their parents off and they're going no contact. So my take on, and Oprah's covering it. So she had a couple on to talk about why they went no contact. I think this is from domineering mothers that can't give up control of their kids. That's what I think it is. It also could be soft millennials. That's possible too. What do you think of that trend in general? Is that something you've seen in real life?
It's something I've seen a little bit in real life, but not a ton. I've heard about it, of course, over the years, but I definitely am of the mindset that that's oftentimes because the mother is so caustic, can't let her boy go. Usually, you know, I think that there's just a lot of bitterness there, and a lot of times the connection to that kind of side of the family is just doomed to destroy you, and you kind of see that.
Yeah, I think a lot of in-laws can ruin relationships
completely.
All right,
you really do marry the family unless you go to such an extreme where you completely divide yourself.
Okay, let's see if I actually haven't seen this yet, so let's see if we agree or disagree.
Okay.
Number of audience members who are going through this right now. So Chris and Bree, what's going on?
Yeah, absolutely. So I grew up in a very performance-oriented household. It was attend an Ivy League school, get the money, the power, the status, be someone that we can feel proud of. And Bree very much did not come from that background.
Did you have other siblings in the
I
household
did.
too? Okay.
Yeah, I had 2 younger brothers.
Okay.
So I was the oldest who was trailblazing in that way.
So tell us again, you've not had contacts with your parents now for 4 years.
4 years, that's right.
Is it parents and siblings?
That's right.
Okay. Nobody in the family.
Because the thing is, if you have a domineering mother, they send the other siblings after you
True. Yeah.
to control you. We'll see. Because my guess, it's either going to be the wife manipulating the boy to get away from the family, or the mother being overly controlling. So we're going to see which one I think it is.
There's some extended family, but
Okay.
not in the core family.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
And so when Bree and I first got together, we very much felt like my parents were apathetic towards her. They were not super interested in getting to know her, and
They didn't like her.
Yeah, that's the feeling that we got.
That's the short answer.
That's the
They
feeling.
didn't like her. They didn't like her.
Yeah,
They didn't like
and
her.
the way that really surfaced was what we perceived as a disinterest in getting to genuinely know her.
Yeah.
And for while we started dating, so be it. But as it became clear that this was a real relationship, that this was an
You
intense
told her, "This is the
relationship, that
woman
we
I
were in
wanna
love
marry."
in, and I said, "This is the woman I'm going to marry."
Uh-huh.
And as we moved into that more serious realm, it went from what we perceived as apathy to more of, we don't like this. And the way that took form for us was my parents, we found through friends, were scheduling lunches to have conversation with my friends where the topic was, we're worried about Chris. That was the first thing. And then it became, can we delay this engagement, or can we
Asking your friends.
yes, or can we take this marriage?
Okay, what's your take? I'm
Almost
so
like an
curious.
intervention.
Yeah. Do you think the wife is that bad, or it's the parents?
I think that what he's saying is fair, that it doesn't sound like the parents really even gave her a chance to even get to know her.
Yeah. And it's his choice to make. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I've had there's been points where I maybe didn't like the siblings, because I'm 1 of 10. So
Yeah.
I didn't maybe approve or like the sibling's significant other, but it's not really my choice to make. And there's been times where maybe I dated somebody they didn't like, and I appreciated the ability to make my own mistake, because you're the one that's going to have to be accountable. Like, you're the one
Right.
that's, if it's really a bad fit, you'll have to deal with the consequence. No one else.
Well, and I'm an only child, so I dealt with none of that. But in my own mothering and my own children, there have been times when I've had to say, I've said, here's what I said. So I sit my kid down, my adult child, and I say, I have something to tell you. You can take this advice, or you could not take this advice. Either way, I will respect you, and I will follow your wish in this. But here's what I'm seeing, and here's why I'm seeing that this is a bad fit. And so far, I'm batting 1,000. They take my advice, and are pleased in the long run. But my big thing is, if this is not the way you see it, and you continue with this relationship, I will 1,000% get on board and follow your lead, and I will love this person and be the best mother-in-law or whatever, in the world. But here where I see concerns. And that's where I feel like the parent should have had a private conversation, not with all of his friends,
Correct.
but with him.
Correct. Yeah. Because you got to let him be a man. Like, you can give him your 2 cents and say, but it's when they want to control the situation so bad. And there's some things that are out of your control. Some of your kids, if you have a lot or a few, but odds are you're not going to like one of their partners or their husbands or wives. Like, it's just a numbers game.
Well, and it's so classic. If parents just don't like your person, what do? You pull closer to them.
Yeah.
If you're just like, oh, that girl's just a hussy, or whatever the case may be, whatever your opinion is of this other girl, if you don't like them, you're just going to make him fight for her more.
Yeah.
So better to just have a conversation and say, I respect your decision. You're the one in this relationship.
Yeah.
Off the table.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in spite of that, we really worked hard to figure out what is our new family going to look like going forward. We're going to get married.
So when you hear that they're conspiring with your friends, what'd you do? You have a conversation about it?
Yeah, we have a conversation about it. I very much grew up in a house where, again, because of that performative aspect, it was also there was a compliance aspect.
Yeah.
And so, frankly, something I've had to really work on and grow in is being comfortable in that conflict. And at the time, I wasn't really. I could bring that up. I'm unhappy with this, but am I going to really pursue that? And the answer is no.
And that's the thing, you know, if you're not pleasant to be around, people aren't really going to tell you. They're just going to walk away. They're just
Yeah.
gonna stop talking to you. So if
Yeah.
you're not being pleasant towards your son, then he's not going to fight you on it. He'll just leave.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so, we got married. They were invited to our wedding. They were a part of that. And for a time, we were able to have this kind of tacit peace.
Wasn't there something with the bridal shower? Or there's something, did she try to mess up the bridal?
Yeah.
Your mother-in-law did?
Yeah.
Tried to mess up the bridal
Yeah,
shower?
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And we were trying to kind of construct it.
Well,
I like how she looks at him. Like she looks at him like she's in love.
Yeah, I don't think that she's the problem here.
Yeah.
It's a sign.
Yeah, that's a sign for
That is
sure.
fun, yes.
Yeah.
And where the tables really turned was when we found out that Bree was pregnant with our first daughter.
And
So we were nervous. We called up my parents. We said, this is what's going on. And we were profoundly hurt by what we were met with, which was disappointment. And
they were disappointed that she was pregnant.
that's right.
Okay.
Aw.
Yeah. The way that we perceived it is that they were expressing that this wasn't the pace that they expected us to move at. And we had already gotten married before they had wanted. And now we were having children before, was their timeline.
So many mothers impose their will on the kids. And at some point, like you didn't have kids to do what you wanted. Like you're supposed to raise them to be their own person and make their own choices.
Yeah.
It's not to be a spitting image of what you like you see that a lot with boys that become like doctors and lawyers, and they like feel like they had to do it because of their family.
Yeah,
And they end up resenting you later if they have to live life on your terms and not theirs.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I left that call. I said, let's regroup, let's have another conversation. And when we did have that conversation and I expressed how I had felt and how hurtful that was, rather than being met with the empathy and some repair that we would have really hoped for, I was met with what they described as they were embarrassed by us. And that was actually the last conversation that I had with my parents before going no contact 4 years ago. And I just remember walking out of that conversation thinking, for the years that Bree and I have been together, I've had to watch her endure that treatment of not feeling accepted. And the last thing that I would want to do is bring a daughter into the world where she will
Oh, they're leaning into each other. That's cute.
walk into the
Yeah.
world on day one and experience that treatment from her grandparents.
Okay. And so you just decided no contact. So I'm curious, Chris. So can I ask how old you are?
I'm 30.
Okay, you're 30. So you grew up in a world where you said there was compliance and the household was performative. So you didn't grow up in a world where you thought about, removing yourself or distancing yourself from your parents. Where did the idea even come from that, all right, I'm going to cut you off. I'm not going to talk to you anymore?
Yeah. I don't think there was one moment. I think it was very incremental.
And I think this is a bigger trend because more parents outsourced raising their kids. So there's a lot of parents that like maybe on paper looked involved, but weren't actually involved.
Yeah. Well, and I would be willing to bet, I don't know if these two met at Princeton, or just kind of that's where he went to school and then they met a little bit later. I would be willing to bet that this girl does not come from the kind of family that the parents wanted for their, his family, I think, is my take is that his family imagines themselves to be the Joneses, to be the Rockefellers, to be the ones that everyone looks to, and sets an example for others. And just the fact that he keeps describing them as very performative just tells me that it's all about the way it looks and not anything with any depth. It's about the obedience factor.
Yeah.
And I think that actually it all began when we first got together. It really highlighted the emotional distance between myself and my parents.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with each step over years and years where I saw my parents being less and less a part of my life, the idea that they could not be a part of my life at all became something that seemed possible.
So did you reach a point where you felt if I don't comply, then they don't love me unless I'm complying?
That's right. Yeah, I would say I'm not accepted unless I'm complying.
Not accept. Okay, do you have a question for one of our experts here?
Yeah, as you think about parents raising children, and as us as parents, we're not connected with our families. What would be your advice for talking about that with our children, right? How as parents can we best support our children as they grow up?
You mean
Potentially
with their
without
grandparents, without grandparents, without
That's right.
grandparents.
Yeah.
Because are you speaking to your parent? You're not speaking to your parents either?
No.
Why aren't you speaking to your parents?
I grew up in a very religious household.
Uh-huh.
And when I became an adult and was not necessarily having some of the same morals and values and political beliefs and religion.
Oh,
That was a plot twist I didn't see coming.
Uh-oh.
I thought that they were going to say, yes, we're very close to her family. They're amazing people.
Ooh, this kind of that I still think the parents are out of bounds. If he wants to marry a libtard, it's fine. You gotta let it go. They're hotter usually.
They basically disowned me.
Okay.
Oh, they disowned.
Oh my.
That's tough to, because I have seen religious fanatics where it's like the parents are overly controlling. But I've also seen really crash out daughters from religious households. So I don't.
Yeah.
I'd have to hear their side too.
They disowned you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So your children are grandparentless right now. Okay.
Yeah.
And so you're asking the question of how do you manage the grandparentlessness, right?
And because my generation's having kids older and older, that's going to be more of a reality. Like a lot of people aren't going to have grandparents because they'll be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Edra, is it a tragedy?
I don't think this is going to be that abnormal.
They-
People just don't like. I mean, I'd say past middle school, I didn't really grow up with like a community, like because I went to Catholic school, so everything was 30 minutes. So everyone was far, like no one was close.
Right.
I don't really see like communities in the sense where people are like close where you live.
Yeah.
Most people don't live by their parents anymore.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
If as a grandchild, their children are 2 and 4, you never even knew your grandparents.
Yes, but they will still have some idea of what a grandparent is. And I think for you two, it'll be very important in an age-appropriate way to explain the situation. We have chosen.
How would you tell them? Like, what would you do?
I would say the best thing that you can do is bring other kind of mentor kind of relationships, nurturing grandparent-esque relationships into the mix very carefully. But like they need that next generation of love and guidance from somewhere that you trust.
Yeah.
If possible. And I think I'd say the other thing is to make sure that you are being the best hands-on parents that you can be and be nurturing so that generational thing is not a curse. It's actually something that was kind of a blip on the radar. And now, I don't think that everything has to be like taking a stand on it. It can just be what it is. Like they aren't fabulous grandparents. So we don't go visit them,
Yeah. I have a friend. It's kind of crazy how all this is getting aired out online on TV.
Yeah.
I have a friend. He says that he would take a woman cheating over a woman that airs out their business on the internet.
It's true.
He's like,
It's
I would
true.
take infidelity. You could cheat a few times a year.
I completely respect that.
Yeah.
Chosen to not have this contact as a protection for our family, right? And as they get older, you express that more. I don't think they need to know like all of the painful stories. That's not
Exactly.
appropriate. But being clear that this is a choice that you made and trying to find other people in the world who can be grandparent-like, right? So that could be a neighbor. If you're a part of a social community, that could be someone in that social community. But being open and
I also think ghosting is just so common. Like you ghost your best friend, you go
Yeah.
like in my
It's just
generation.
too easy now.
Yeah, like in my generation, I feel like a few generations ago, people would work it out, but now it's like you just move to a new city. You like people ghost. I mean, I knew a girl in school. She was in like a 4-year relationship and he just ghosted.
Wow.
Like she would always joke about it. She'd be like, because there's a few years later, and she's like, I don't know, are we still together?
We never had the talk, so well, I guess we are.
And he went to a different school and he just ghosted. Like,
Wow.
yeah, like that's not. I know best friends that have ghosted. They used to hang out every day, ghost. Now people are ghosting their parents. Like,
That is nuts.
yeah.
Honest is really important. Not trying to erase your childhood. So, not doing the thing of never talking about your childhood, never talking about your parent. Share some of those good memories with them as well. So, don't make it seem like these are people we don't talk about, because they will have some curiosity. And if you want to have that emotionally connected relationship with them, the one that you didn't have, you'll have to be vulnerable and honest with
So
them
you
about this
shouldn't act like
situation.
these are people we don't talk about, even though you're not talking about them?
Well, they should be clear that these are people that you have chosen to not have a relationship with. We don't want to make it seem like they just disappeared, no one ever existed,
Okay.
because you were raised by someone.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you say, Dr. Gibson?
Yeah, I was just thinking about when you're
I don't know why we're asking these old broads what to do. We got to get some men in there. Like,
Seriously.
let's get some masculine guidance. Come on.
Yeah.
children
Yeah.
begin to be curious about
Yeah, I don't know. I do think over a certain age, if they want, I don't know if they'll even be alive with, but oh wait, hold on. Over a certain age, you got to let them if they want to have that relationship. But
I think that this is similar to situations where, like, there's been an adoption or something, where there may be a genuine curiosity, later on. So, demonizing these people or pretending they just don't exist at all almost creates more intrigue around what really happened, instead of just kind of going, kind of like in a breakup. We just didn't work out. We just didn't see eye to eye. I wish them well. I just don't want to put myself in a position to be around them. But also similarly, I would say deaths, when there is a death in the family, you still need to remember that person, whether everybody wants to talk about them all the time or not. You still can't just pretend they never existed. I don't think that that's the healthy way to go for, like, these parents raising girls or raising children just to pretend like they fell out of the sky. Like, that's
But as a teenage girl, you're also so self-centered. I don't think they'll miss much. Like,
fair.
I don't know, like, because I grew up with I spent time with my grandma, but it was just a few times a year, and I didn't really care. You know what I mean? Like, I never.
Well,
grew up
it
with,
sounds
like,
like your grandparents probably put so much work in that they were probably exhausted.
Yeah, oh my
they were like,
God.
all these kids, they've got all.
Oh yeah, because my parents had 10, and my mom's mom had 9, and my dad's mom had 13.
Oh, wow.
I know. So yeah, we're done.
That is awesome. Holy moly, you've got so many cousins, you don't even know their names.
I swear I don't. I see some of them and I'm like, you? Yeah. I'll go to, like, funerals or family reunions and I'm like, I met someone new every time.
There you go. That is funny.
Well, thanks so much for coming on, Bunny. You're a pleasure.
Oh, thank you for
We'd
having me.
love to have you back. So, we do these a few times a week, so I'm sure I'll send
love
you
it.
more.
I love it. Do it. I'm ready.
Where can the people find you? I see you're on Twitter. You're on X now.
I'm on X. So it's the X, as in the letter, as in X, matriarch. And then on YouTube, I'm attraction matriarch. So
cool. Do you coach on men and women, or, like, what do you do?
I think that's why as I came back, I went with more of a middle of the road kind of frame, because I do get a lot of female questions and things like that who are and really one of my main passions is keeping otherwise good relationships together and strong. And so I totally love to talk to men and women, even though clearly my demographic has always been strongly male. But I like keeping the attraction hot for an entire relationship and making it awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming.
Thank
Guys,
you.
if you want to go follow her on X, she's got some good stuff. You could tell when the people on X get their information from the real world. And that's what I really like about her and Fort Worth Playboy. So I think you guys are great. So
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on, guys. And let me know what topical reactions you guys want me to do next week and put it in the comments, like the video, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.